Well, hello, Mom. How are you?
Well, fine. Long time no see.
Yeah, they don't know we've been on the computer talking, do they? All right. Well,
Yeah,
it's good to see you. Thank you for taking some time out.
sure.
You are, well, I'm Jennifer Johnson. I'm with TTR Networking, and you're my mother, and I'm glad you could find some time to spend with us.
Yeah.
And I thought it would be kind of cool. Um, we've been posting your blog. It's the Because I Asked is on the website, and this is going to have a link in the verbiage below the video where they
Mhm.
can uh, go ahead and just click on it and get into your most recent blog that we're gonna attach anyway.
Mhm.
But it's all the name of it. I guess we should go to that maybe first is Milo,
Mhm.
and I guess that kind of goes back to Milo is one of the reasons you were inspired to write this, right? And who is Milo?
Milo was the third or fourth, I'm trying to think, dog that my husband and I have had in the series of dogs. And he was different in the sense that our other dogs were all ones that basically we bought them or got them, but he was the only rescue dog we had, and the
Mm,
only rescue dog I have had in my life. Um, and it was an interesting thing to see how that goes. So the whole story is not about Milo, but it just was the way it went, and Milo seemed to be the way to talk about
right, and Milo is one of your dogs. You don't even, I think I asked you that before. You don't have to come up with how many dogs, but you've had a number of dogs since you've been
Oh,
married.
in the time I was in my first marriage, I didn't have any later after you guys were all gone, my children. But yes, Wes and I have had a bunch of them, and we're definitely dog people.
But you
And
did say, you have said, and I knew this, that you didn't have them when you were growing up, though.
oh
You're,
no, my mother was allergic to them,
yeah.
and so I think we had one beagle that they had for a while. A beagle is really an outside dog, and we wanted an inside dog. And beagles howl, and beagles go hunting, and a lot of things that were not right for us living in a house in Waterville.
Right,
So we
right.
didn't have one, but I think he was a nice dog.
But
I,
okay,
I think
so,
they're all
and
nice.
I didn't mention, but if they can see, you're wearing your dog vest. Is
Yeah.
that a vest? Is that a sweater vest or what is it?
No, it's a vest that goes over a shirt that also
Oh,
has
it's cute. Yeah.
dog things on. Yeah,
And
I was wearing my thing from Woodstock, but I decided this was more appropriate.
yeah, well, Woodstock has already been posted on the blog, so
Oh yeah,
they'll have to read that one if they want to learn about
see,
that.
see us at Woodstock. Yeah.
But I'm glad you wore your dog clothes today since we're
Mhm.
talking about and I guess that Milo we talked about, and then I think you were holding your current dog, whose
Yes.
name is Fred, and hopefully we'll get him on here in a minute. But
Okay.
if is he there? Is he there
Well,
now?
he's not, but hey, Fred, come here, honey. Now
So
we're going to see him again.
yes.
Come on, Fred.
So
Oh, here he comes.
we don't want to
Yeah.
forget Fred,
No,
who's your current dog.
right. He is, and he came bopping in.
There
There
he
he is.
is. And he says, I've already been on. We tried this earlier and I was not recording very well. So we are doing it again. But there's Fred, who's now, you
Yeah.
said is 2 years old.
Yeah, a little, maybe a little bit over that. He's a Papillon, and he and I go for long walks every morning, and we're friends, aren't we?
And you may
We
be
haven't gone out
taking,
today.
I was going to say, you may be taking him for a walk here soon. So he's probably
Yeah,
staying close to you.
yes,
Um,
that may be it.
so I guess what do you think, and we're trying not to give too much away, we're going to have
Mhm.
the blog is a little delayed because I thought, this would be a good way to introduce it. We're trying to do a blog a
Mhm.
month, and you've got a few of them that are kind of waiting to be posted, and you're
Mhm.
writing, and we'll go there in a minute. But what is this blog basically? What do you think it boils down to? What do you think?
I think the different dogs help people understand dogs better, and you know, there's you how you get pick your dogs, how
Yeah,
you raise them, and how you ultimately have to let go of them.
right.
Um, and that's kind of what it's about. I'd say that's the story
And you have to
mostly.
be, yeah, I think you kind of said it earlier when we were talking. You have to understand it's not something you think about when you have a 2-year-old dog. You're not thinking that, well, I'm going to event. You have to though, but now you've had so many dogs. But somebody who maybe hasn't, you're
Yeah,
definitely dog people too. I'm
yeah.
not cat person. I mean, it could be the same thing with a cat, right?
I
Doesn't
think it could
matter.
be. I know people who've had cats that they love, and cats. One good thing about cats is they live a long time.
Do
I
they? I
think
don't even know
I
how
think
long
Jim
they.
and Nancy had one that was like 22 or something.
That was
Um,
your sister and my, yeah, aunt and uncle
yes,
that had, so they had cats. Okay, but we are talking about dogs. So
yes.
Fred is currently your dog and he's 2 years old. And Fred, we're so happy that you're there. And is he shaking or is he ready to go
No, no,
outside?
I'm going like that with them.
Oh, okay. Well, Fred, it's good
No,
to see you. Now, we don't want to give too much away, so we want people to read it.
I
And
hope
Milo
so.
is, you don't have Milo now, so they need to read
No.
the story to figure out about Milo. And then Fred is at the footnote, maybe not the footnote, but he's the kind of the end, because that's
Mhm.
where you're at right now. Maybe there'll be a future story about Fred. Maybe I don't want it to
I
be a
think
big, yeah.
we could do that because yeah, he's Papillon's. We've had another Papillon. Timmy was a Papillon, uh, and but this dog is probably the most affectionate one we have. He
That's
just
nice.
wants to kiss and hug and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah. And there was something you just said about dogs. Oh my goodness, I can't remember what it was. Okay. But the really the big thing is the under this blog, it is because I asked. And
Mm-hmm.
the idea is you say it, you do ask a lot of questions. I know that what did you say earlier? Grandma Carr used to ask a lot of questions and people.
My mother, we always said that she could go in the grocery store and know the life story of the checkout girl when she leaves, just because she would ask the questions. And I think I think people were charmed by her. I like to think they like me when I ask questions too, but
I
who
think
knows?
so. I
Yeah,
think if you say, there's certain things for me, it's definitely, I told you that earlier, but there's times when, there's an obvious question on my mind and I'm like, I need to ask this question. I'm going to ask it, even if nobody else is going to ask the question.
right.
Now, occasionally there's questions. You have to be kind of smart, but in our business world, our networking world, the only way you're going to learn things about people is asking questions. And
Mm-hmm.
to be a good, in general, if you're trying to build a business or just build relationships, you
Mm-hmm.
have to ask questions. And, the grandma was maybe, and you're not thinking you're necessarily going to have a long relationship with a lady at the grocery store in the
Yeah,
checkout line, but there's probably you're doing so much in a very short time. I mean, I know I see somebody and I think, I wonder do they know how nice they look today? And then I'll say, you really look nice. And I've never met them before, but that might be that moment. They
and
may
you
be
don't know that you might be making the person's
right,
day.
right, right.
Yeah.
But you ask questions and all of the blogs that's the common thing. It's asking questions and may not be your questions, might be something
Mm-hmm.
you're doing
Mm-hmm.
that inspires somebody else to ask a question, but then in turn it turns into a blog called Milo or a blog actually, and we'll close with this, Mom, but
Well,
you gave me a teaser that, and
yeah.
we're not going to share too much with anybody else, but because they need to read it. But the next one is going to be called Rubber Bracelets. That's kind
Yes.
of interesting.
It's
Okay.
a big thing in the world, rubber bracelets. I'll tell you
Actually
about
have
it
one.
later.
I
Yeah.
actually have one, but the wording is has rubbed off. But I'm looking forward to reading that one.
Hmm.
Definitely because that I actually put in my notes rubber bracelets question mark. I think a lot of
Yeah.
people might be kind of
I'll ask you
questioning.
another time to tell me what's on there because that's what I've been dealing with. What are on the rubber bracelets?
Okay, we're
Yeah.
gonna leave it at that. Don't get out of. We're gonna, yeah,
No,
definitely.
I don't want to.
But for sure, that is a nice teaser. But this one is called Milo, and if and it doesn't even have to be dogs, doesn't have to be cats. It might be somebody has a, I don't know,
A
gerbil
bird. Yeah.
or a bird, a
Or a
bird.
little miniature pig. I know a lot of people were into
Yeah.
miniature pigs for a while.
Interesting. Okay. Well,
Yeah.
we're going to leave it at that. And I thank you,
Okay.
Mom, for being here.
Yeah.
And we thank everybody for checking out the Milo. It's the newest edition or edition. Yeah, the newest edition, EDI. No, I don't know if that's right. Anyway, addition is probably, no, I don't know, Mom. What is it? Grammatically correct edition? But
Addition. Yeah.
okay.
Addition, I
To
believe.
our, yeah, because I asked blog, which is all around my mom and the
Yeah.
things that she's gathered as she's been writing for years. So we thank you all for checking it out and we'll see you soon.